The debt is a result of years of mismanagement, of not saving a dime during the very best days in this province, a government that presided over an economic boom that was unprecedented by way of revenues and piled on debt during that time, didn't save a dime for the future, drained the rainy day fund, and left this economy weakened and Saskatchewan people vulnerable. And they did so with non-economic debt that they were piling onto the Crowns through the GTH scandal and the costly coal project. And there's real cost to this, including equity stripping from our Crown corporations. It's time to open up the books, to be straight, to be honest with Saskatchewan people, and build out a plan that works for the people of the province, getting us back on track economically, fiscally, and then making the investments where they count. We see some measures here on mental health here today, and we welcome those investments. We fought like heck for the people across this province who are facing darkness and despair without the supports that they deserve. But this is still just a start, because we're a long ways from where we need to go on the mental health file to close the gaps for Saskatchewan people and make sure there's timely supports and services in place. But in an area like this, we know that the deployment of $1 effectively in mental health and addiction services will actually save $7 from health, will hopefully save lives, and will add $30 to our productivity. It's those kind of smart investments, it's those kind of needed investments that are needed now.
When we talk about the debt, it's helpful to bring it into the context of some of the other choices that are being made. We see a government that's making choices based on short-term priorities. They want to say that this year's budget is balanced. It's about this year's budget cycle, maybe today's news cycle. It's about the next election. They're not making the wise investments for down the road. We keep talking about how Saskatchewan can and should be the best place in Canada to be a kid. But when our classrooms are struggling, when they've cut early childhood education, they're cutting post-secondary education, they're cutting every investment they should be making in the future, and at the same time saddling that generation with billions of dollars that they're going to have to pay back, that's a government that's not focused on the long-term success of Saskatchewan.
So the government should have run a deficit this year?
I think it's pretty clear they're running one this year. They'll claim what they might, and we'll see what results in the public accounts. We have a problem by way of the financial management of this, created by the financial management of this government. So I think the question now is, how do you come clean with Saskatchewan people about the state of our finances, and how do you create the right conditions for an economic recovery, to get our finances back on track, to get people back to work, and to make sure that we have the supports in place where people need them, like education and in mental health.